Hey everyone, welcome back to the Star Wars headquarters. Hope you're all doing well, and as you know, tomorrow Kashyyyk arrives to Capital Supremacy, and we've got details on what time you can download the Kashyyyk Capital Supremacy update, a surprise hero skin that will be arriving tomorrow for Princess Leia, details on Darth Maul and Yoda blocking, which will also be arriving tomorrow, plus we've got details on changes for the Chosen One, Anakin Skywalker. So there's a lot of stuff to go over in this video because DICE just released their entire community transmission. And if I scroll through this, it's a doozy. So there's a lot of stuff to go over in this community transmission. But first, we're going to answer the question, when can you download the update for Capital Supremacy, where you can play Kashyyyk and have all of these changes? So it happens tomorrow, of course, on the 24th. And Emperor Palpamines asked this question, said, do you have the estimated release times for the update tomorrow? And the community manager responded, said, usual time, early AM Stockholm. Now this usually converts to about 1 AM PT time for the PC, 2 AM PT time for the PS4, and then 3 AM PT time for the Xbox One. So that's when you can expect the update to arrive tomorrow. And yes, you betcha, we will be up bright and early tomorrow to record and capture some gameplay of Kashyyyk on Capital Supremacy. I cannot wait. Hit that like button. Let's go for 3,000 likes on this video if you cannot wait to play Kashyyyk on Capital Supremacy mode. Now, let's dive into that community transmission, starting off with the top here where it says new map, Kashyyyk Beach. So we're going to start off right there and read this off. It says, to start, Capital Supremacy is expanding to Kashyyyk. The Clone Wars will be fighting on the Kashyyyk Beach in an all-new way. Don't think this map is exactly the same as before though. While it is based on the Kashyyyk map from Galactic Assault, we have made some changes for it to function better in Capital Supremacy. So they don't go into much more details besides that. It sounds like there might be some adjustments to this map, maybe where the debris is placed, maybe where some of the MTT debris is placed and things like that. But it is based on the Galactic Assault, Kashyyyk map, which is not surprising because if you look at that map, it is absolutely ginormous. So I'm not surprised that they are, just kind of putting it onto Capital Supremacy while making additional changes as well. But the question is, again, what are these additional changes going to be? We'll have to find out tomorrow. And remember, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications because we will be posting footage right away of this update. Now, moving on, there is a surprise hero skin in this update as well. So the community transmission goes on to say this. It says, leading her forces into battle and holding the line when there was nowhere left to go, Leia Organa has always mastered the balance between princess and general. In preparation for May the 4th, in only a few days, we're adding Leia's iconic A New Hope appearance to the game, Princess of Alderaan. This appearance will be visible from the collection screen once the update goes live. And then it goes on to say, this isn't just a regular appearance drop though. To unlock this iconic look, players must take part in an in-game event by capturing command posts in Capital Supremacy. The May the 4th special event will begin on May 1st and run until May 6th. Good luck, and may the Force be with you. I was going to say May the 4th, but it says we'll have more details on the event in just a few days' time, so keep that in mind. Now, I'm not sure if you have to wait until the event to run in order to unlock your skin. I believe that's the case, so you have to wait until this event starts running, of course. But that's really cool to see that they are adding Princess Leia's new skin, and they don't have an exact picture of what it looks like in game, but for reference, this is what the new appearance should look like when it arrives in Battlefront 2. So super excited about that. Cannot wait for that. And I know a lot of people have been requesting this skin for Princess Leia, and hopefully this is just the beginning for new hero skins. Personally, I really want to see Darth Maul with his robotic legs from the Clone Wars. Who agrees? Let me know in the comments. Now, speaking of Darth Maul, we're going to go on to the next part of the community transmission, where it explains Darth Maul's and Yoda's blocks, which will be added in the update tomorrow as well. So it says, after much discussion and tweaking, as well as a healthy amount of player feedback, we've added blocking for Yoda and Darth Maul. Yoda still has the ability to absorb blaster bolts and lightning, but he'll use his lightsaber to defend against lightsaber attacks. Darth Maul will use his lightsaber for both. So if you're wondering, how Yoda's absorbability still works, it is still, available to use, of course, but he will also block lightsaber attacks as well. So that's really cool to know that. We'll be testing that out tomorrow and seeing how their blocks work. And, I cannot wait for Darth Maul and Yoda to finally have the ability to block. We've been waiting for a while for this, so I'm really glad that DICE has added that. Don't forget that next month in May, they are doing the Heroes versus Villains rework to that entire mode, where they are removing the targeting system, so it's perfect timing for them to add this for Yoda and Darth Maul in preparation for the new revamped Heroes versus Villains for sure. So that's really cool to hear that. Now we're going to move on to the actual release notes here that they have. So there's a lot of stuff we already know about the new content. Kashyyyk, of course, is going to be available on Capital Supremacy. We know that Leia Organa is going to have her new appearance, and that will be awarded in the upcoming community event. So keep that in mind. Now there's some other additional hero changes that I noticed here. So Yoda and Vader will now be able to jump as high as other Force heroes. So that's really, really good news. And then it also goes on to say heroes with longer lasting abilities will now not be interrupted by opponents using Force powers. This applies to General Grievous's Unrelenting Advance, Darth Vader's Force Choke, and Darth Maul's Choke Hold. So that's certainly a really good improvement they've added in there as well. Now, they've also fixed the issue where a hero's animation during blocking would not show properly when blocking attacks from another character. So I had that quite often. I don't know if you guys had it quite often, but that's good to know that they fixed that as well. Now we're going to move on to the rest here. There's a bunch of notes in here. I'm going to go over the most important ones for you all. And we're going to jump down to the Chosen One, Anakin Skywalker, because there's a bunch of notes here to go over with Anakin Skywalker. So they made some changes to him here, which is good. So they reduced Anakin's pull dominance base range from 20 to 18 meters. They reduced Anakin's retribution range from 20 to 15 meters. They removed the push effect from Anakin's passionate strike. So I believe you will not be able to knock down opponents with his passionate strike anymore. They fixed an issue where Anakin's retribution ability could be re-triggered too quickly, leading to unwanted canceling. And then they also fixed a bunch of other issues as well. Now they also affected his stamina as well. So it says Anakin's deflect stamina has been reduced from 14 to 10 melee attacks. They also fixed an issue that could cause Anakin to get stuck during the heroic might ability animation due to a bad connection with the server. And they also fixed some other issues as well. But, overall, it looks like they did some basic nerfs to Anakin, which is good to hear because I still feel like Anakin Skywalker needs to be nerfed. The question is, will it be enough? We'll have to find out tomorrow. So we'll have to see if Anakin is still super OP or if these nerfs will be enough. Now, there's also some interesting stuff they did with Obi-Wan Kenobi. So this is huge for me personally because I've been wanting to see this. And they put on here, it was a community request. So this was directly requested by the community. And they adjusted Obi-Wan's primary attack sequence animation so that it feels faster. So that's really good news because I do feel like he felt a little bit way too slow compared to, Anakin Skywalker. So that's good news that they have adjusted that. They also brought back Obi-Wan's air attack animation, but adjusted so that it feels faster. So overall, Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to feel a lot faster compared to before. And if you're like me, this was definitely one of my biggest complaints about Obi-Wan Kenobi. He felt too sluggish, so I can't wait to feel how he feels after this update. I'm hoping he feels a lot more snappy and a lot faster, because it certainly sounds like he will. Now, we're going to talk about Chewie. So let's talk about Chewbacca. So Chewbacca is next on the list of changes. So right here, they fixed an issue where Chewbacca's charge slam ability would deal damage to a lightsaber enemy who blocks. They increased his charge slam damage to troopers from 150 to 200 points. They increased push force of charge slam on troopers from 3 meters to 10 meters, so that's a big change. And then they increased radius of charge slam from 6 meters to 8 meters. So Chewbacca, he's getting quite the buff in this update, which is surprising. So he's getting what seems to be a pretty big buff with those abilities. Now, they're also increasing Darth Vader's attack stamina by 2 lightsaber strikes to a total of 10 strikes. So Darth Vader is also seeing a buff as well. So let's move on now to the next community request here, which is for Rey. So right here it says this is a community request, and it says they just adjusted Rey's facial expressions on the main menu for more accuracy. So apparently some people were complaining about that. So that's good to hear that they made her facial expressions even more accurate than before. So also, let's move on to the next note. Some of these are basic changes and very basic fixes. So I'm not going to go over everything, but they also made some changes to Yoda besides adding a block to him. So they also reduced the health gained from Yoda's presence ability from 200 to 100 points. So they nerfed that apparently. And then beyond that, there's some other additional changes they made to Capital Supremacy. Now, I'm not going to read this all over because these are some technical changes, but basically what they did was they fixed some of the glitches that you saw with the cinematics on console, where, you know, when you entered the ship, you saw, you know, some of the textures loading in. So most of that stuff should be fixed with tomorrow's update. And then they fixed some other technical issues as well beyond that. So that's the update for you all. They also mentioned some arcade changes to the enemy AI. So there's been some major improvements to arcade AI as well in this update. So that's really good news. And it sounds like they just took some of the stuff from the Capital Supremacy AI and put it into, you know, the arcade mode, which is really cool to hear. Now, hopefully, we get Capital Supremacy or a mode like that in arcade in the future, because like you, I'm definitely for offline content. I really want to see a large-scale game mode come to arcade mode. You know, hopefully we see that in the future. And if we hear any news on that, we'll let you know. But there's all the news on the update. There are a bunch of other notes in there as well. I'll leave a link to the entire patch notes if you want to check it out. But there's the video for now. I know it was a lot. And, you know, tomorrow, again, is the update for Kashyyyk coming to Capital Supremacy. So super excited about it. Can't wait to play it. I'll see you all tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and may the Force be with you always.